Hey everybody, it's Bust with Bust Builds Decks number 37. Today we'll be battling with our 3-star Kaisa up against the 5-star Quest the Frost Witch, trying to take down Lissandra. And so we have a bit of a different loadout for our Kaisa. With every deck within the Path of Champions, I always mention three things. It needs a way to elusive, rally, or overwhelm. It needs a way to scale, and it needs a way to unconditionally remove an opposing unit. And so the midpoint there, the scaling, the Kaisa deck just does on its own. The mini evolve, if you will, ability coming from the star powers to where allies with 3 positive keywords get +2/+2 tends to cover enough of the scaling aspect, especially once we consider that our units are going to be picking up tons of keywords along the way. And so that leaves us with the other two factors. The removal spell thing is just tough for Shurima, right? We have to find something along the way. It's not incredibly challenging to do, but we need something like a stun, a recall, a vengeance, whatever. In our previous video, we just used flash freeze, right? I just want one kind of way to unconditionally deal with a unit one round of the game. But that one remaining point, that elusive, overwhelm, or rally, is a way that Kaisa goes about it a bit uniquely, right? We typically build up a board of giant units, grant them all overwhelm and attack or something like that, but Kaisa tends to be a go tall champion that doesn't really care about all of the other units she has access to. And so the way that we try to build up the supercharged Kaisa is twofold. Number one, we've unlocked the bonus star, Hunter's Machete, and so all of the support champions that we pick up, the support champion at the beginning of the game is going to have Scout, so through the use of the second skin from Kaisa, we're able to give her her most important keyword in Scout. And so the way that the battles will go, the way we'll try to assemble our deck to make the most usage out of this Hunter's Machete, is we want a support champion that's cheaper than Kaisa, right? So if you want to imagine a situation to where maybe we pick up Ornn, right? Ornn is a 7-cost champion. We play our Kaisa on turn 4, and then we play the second skin on something. She doesn't get Scout, right? Because we can't play Ornn until turn 7. And so we're going to be looking for a champion that is cheaper than Kaisa so that we can say play Vayne and then have Vayne on board. She has Scout, and then we can use that to be the second skin target to then put Scout onto Kaisa. And so that'll be a big deck building point when we get to the support champion. It's going to be very important to pick up a champion that has a lower mana cost than Kaisa. You can try and be crazy and pick up cost reduction items along the way if you want. That's a little too RNG heavy for me, and so I'm going to try and pick up a champion that just costs less than 5 mana. Thing number 2, as far as our relics go, I have epicked out Kaisa, if you will. We've gone full build in the epic slot, which gives her Challenger, Tough, and Overwhelm, and then we're using Banshee's Veil for Spell Shield in the common slot. Our Kaisa is currently level 19, so she gets 1 rare and 1 common slot. And the reasoning for this is, you might say, Bust, it's very easy to get a bunch of keywords on board. It's not that challenging to get evolved and then copy those keywords over to Kaisa. And you're right. When the games are going right, it is very easy to get a large collection of keywords onto the board and then copy those keywords onto Kaisa. I don't really care about those games, though, right? We're going to win those games when things are going right, and we don't need any help. The place where we need help is where the games go wrong, right? We're getting to turn 4. Maybe we had a clunky draw that didn't get to play a unit on the first 2 turns of the game. We've only got 1 bro on board. And then if we're just playing Kaisa into that board, she might only be at like 3 keywords and super far away from leveling up, super far away from getting her abilities activated and running. And so the reason I really like kicking off with this 4 keyword ability is it makes you super strong in the games that have gone bad. It's a very strong catch-up type mechanic when Kaisa is just guaranteed to have all of these abilities, and she doesn't need too much help to really get up into her full-powered, high-powered form. And so that is it. That is our Kaisa. Let's jump on into battle up here in the Northlands for the Frost Witch, if you will. Dive on into battle. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Taking the Desert Queen into the glaciers. Is that what it is? is that what we're doing is called? I assure you it is, or something like that at least, right? Something like that. And so, okay, reasonable set of champions. Akshan is not that bad. My problem with taking a champion like Akshan is the Warlord's Horde tends to cover up the board. And so we do have some combos with Akshan, right? We have the targeted stuff coming from, say, the second skin and the lucky find that's already within our deck. And so we do have some minor combos there. but he doesn't really fix any of our problems. He doesn't give us any good removal spells, and that's just kind of a weak point there. And so I'm kind of okay with Akshan. I guess Akshan with Scout's not that bad, but having him attack into bigger units is going to be a very common thing. I'm kind of liking it, kind of not. The action is a tough place for me there. Moving on, Jace does fit the bill in terms of being cheaper than Kaisa, but he's not a combat-oriented champion. I'm not super interested in him. And then Twisted Fate is always a valid champion. He's one of the best catch-all champions of the game. The card mechanic is very strong in terms of giving us a lot of versatility, but it's not a particularly high-powered play. It's like I'm really leaning towards and trying to convince myself that I want this action, right? I'm like, well, I can just kind of cut this Vicuran Vagabond out of the deck, and we can, or the Vicuran Safecracker, and then the Vagabond is kind of okay with the Shadow Totem, really hypercharging the Warlord's Horde, but it's just such a small statted champion. Fine. We'll save the rerolls for when we get down to this epic shop a little bit further down the road. Action it is. And so moving into the powers, what do we got here? When you summon an ally granted a random keyword, most definitely fits in with what we're trying to do. I also really like allies have hallowed. It's another way to just start off with a keyword. It gets you a little bit closer to that mini evolve for all of our units, and we do already have one shadow totem on an early game play. Which means we're going to have access to a lot of bonus stats from the Hallowed just from those dead ephemeral units. And so both of these are quite good. I think I'm just going to go with the welcome gifts here since the random keywords kind of tie in a little bit better with what we're shooting for, right? And so if we're going to second skin onto a unit, we at least have an opportunity to, I don't know, pick up Tough, pick up Spirit, pick up one of these other random keywords that Kaisa doesn't already have, to where the Haunting Hall doesn't really help us hit Evolved at that point. So welcome gifts it is. Moving in, only 100 Gs out of the chest, sad day there, and then into the shop. What do we got going on here? And so at the start, interesting in that I do see the Relentless Pursuit with the Chalice of Harmony. So a 1-mana rally is a pretty good deal. This isn't a deck that particularly needs to Elusive Overwhelm or rally very strong, right? We can typically just count on Kaisa to just win the game on her own, but 1-mana rallies is a pretty big deal. I'm going to come back to that, right? We still have some item potential and some rolls down here that we might want, and so let's see how this goes. So with this, not a great set. The Void Link striking as soon as he comes on board tends to just have it be dead, so I'm not super interested in it. Not wanting to start with the Void Seeker, I'd like to just cut that out of our deck as it is. So let's take a roll. Let's see if we can't find some better items out here. Hive Herald is slightly interesting. It's a card I typically cut as well, but if it only costs 1 mana with Kaisa on board or something, it's not that bad. Let's keep rolling. We got to find something right. And all right, here we go. Here's our first big one. There's actually 2 very good ones in here. The doubling dice on Payday, I am more than fine with, right? This is a great way to both level up our action and spread out some non-existing keywords, right? You can pick up Fearsome, you can pick up Tough, you can pick up Challenger with this thing. There's lots of good things that'll come out of these paydays, and so I think I'm interested in this with the doubling dice. We also have the mana deposit on the Void Blaster. Getting this guy down for free is a pretty good deal, and so I'm not quite certain how this money works out. I want to pick up both. That's 450. That should leave us with... Oh, can we not get both? Are we that short because we only had the 100 gold chest? 450. Well, we're 20 short. Shit, I was starting to do like the math to figure out if we were left over with like $70 so we could still come back and buy this Relentless Pursuit. Fine, I'm gonna pick up the Payday. Maybe RN Jesus will bless us with the items today, and then I'm also going to come out and pick up the Relentless Pursuit, and so really interested in getting that guy up and running for 1 mana. So I think we'll stop there. I'm not going to spend any more rerolls at this point. We're really just kind of counting on the featured card to be good, and I'm not going to take that roll. And so moving on, we have access to a Stilted Robemaker. This is going to be darkness cards. I don't want those. A champion item chest, which I'm very interested in, and spells chest at the bottom. So let's go up against the Yetis, get ourselves this champion item chest, see how the deck fares with old Akshan. Man, I just worry about it, right? Opponent has the double stack keyword right at the start, so you can see how it feels to just have these gigantic champions come down on board and us not really be able to run our action into them. He's kind of in landmark mode until Kaisa comes down behind.
Warm hearts and hot soups.
All right, let's get something down. We'll go ahead and drop the Chronomancer, see if we can't predict a Kaisa to the top. There she is. We can still do this without Scout. Oh, and I forgot that guy was going to be a double stat. It's okay. It's okay. We got all the tools we need. We just need to stall a little bit till our Kaisa can get on board. So I'll play the Elder here. I want to get the Vagabond down next turn when we have the opportunity to get a good block from it with the second unit on board. And then just a couple turns away from Kaisa.
We're not taking it. We're taking it back.
He's a big old boy rolling through, huh? Alright, let's get... Do we want to get in front of the 1010 Yeti? Like, we're definitely playing Kaisa next turn, but we don't have any good second skin targets. I guess the Betheldi Elder only has one skill. He only has Spirit. Yeah, fine. It's not like we're taking a ton of damage. We're only taking 7 here. I'm pretty certain once we get Kaisa online next turn, everything will be fine. Oh, when he picks up Elusive for the random keyword, everything definitely is going to be fine. So we'll get this big stack Kaisa on board. She's not going to have Scout, but I think she's going to be doing just okay with Elusive. The thing that's kind of interesting to me here is we'll have to see how these paydays pay off, in the sense that it kind of sucks to cast them on the Betheldi Elder just digging for keywords. Because if we land on one that doesn't have keywords, then we missed on stats we could have put on Kaisa. But I think that we'll still just see how this goes. How many did we get? 2 lucky finds. So we already have Challenger. Fearsome is the last one we need. So I think we end up stopping there. The only other keyword we can get out of... Oh, we can get Quick Attack. That would be the big one. That was the next kind of tangent I was going to have for Kaisa. She doesn't have Quick Attack, so these attacks aren't the safest thing that we can be doing, but... Just keep digging. But right, this is the kind of space where it was like, well, I'd rather just put this onto Kaisa, because we have Tough, we have Spell Shield, she already has those. And so with the 0-2, I would rather the 0-2 go onto her. No, I thought it had a different item on it, just the burst thing. So where are we at? Hitting in for 25. It's a fairly big number. I think we'll just send and not block. My concern is that just Kaisa gets attacked down on the following turn. As it stands, she can just block any of this stuff. But if she takes a bunch of damage here and then takes damage on the next turn, she's gonna be dead. And so we'll let her hang out for just a little bit. Out here cracking spell shields, that's fine.
Must be nice living off stolen coin.
Everybody's hitting elusive today. So what do we got? Predict Draw sounds good to me. There's a Relentless Pursuit. We might be able to finish this if the opponent's gonna keep doing dumb stuff, right? We might see the Relentless Pursuit come in and be like, ooh, I better play another Yeti. Doing something. Yeah, it's exactly what he just said. So watch this bust. It's Yeti time.
There's nowhere to hide.
All right, there we go. Nice little intro to what the deck can do. A very high-powered Kaisa. Some of the decision making we'll have to make along the way. Kicking things off with the rally at the end. I like it. I like it. See how this can stand once we get up towards old Lissandra at the end of the day. Alright, so do we want any of this stuff? Not the greatest collection of cards. The Absolver is not something we need. It's very easy for us to get overwhelmed. Our Kaisa just has it naturally. Otherwise, the Merciless Hunter does have Fearsome and the support keyword. It's a little bit of interactivity. It's kind of fine. And Thrumming Swarm I just don't want anything to do with. And so I guess we just take the Merciless Hunter here. This doesn't feel bad enough for me to want to re-roll out of it. And we'll save those rolls for something a little bit further down the line. So into the champion item chest, what do we got here? I'm leaning towards putting the barrier onto Kai'Sa. Again, as we were in that previous game and I was like a little worried about getting Kai'Sa into combat because if she takes the damage, she risks dying on the following turn. The barrier really alleviates a lot of those fears, and so I think that will be a pretty reasonable add. I could also, I guess I could see a reason to want to put it onto Akshan in the sense that, you know, it's very challenging for Akshan to survive a combat early. And so I do worry that he's just going to come down and be a landmark quite often, where we just want to attach the scout keyword onto Kai'Sa at some point. And so him having barrier does seem kind of decent as well. That's tough. Maybe we just kind of count on Kai'Sa's second skin to get her one of those defensive things, and we'll level up the action for the moment. I'm not too worried about the champion stacks within this deck. We do have a lot of predicts in it, and so we should get the chance to find her. All right, I'm going to go with the barrier. That's tough. A lot of interesting decisions in here. Right, so interesting stuff. Like, I don't like taking these Voidling shells that we have here on Jarrow Lightfeather. I'm not entirely certain. Like, I understand what it's supposed to do, but it seems bugged as shit. It keeps overwriting a bunch of keywords that already exist, and I don't like what the randomness that kind of comes out of that, especially if you land it onto a champion like Kai'Sa. And so I'm just going to kind of stay away from it. I concede that it's a keyword that seems like it should be very good here, but I'm a little worried about it. And so we'll move past that one. I am a little interested in this time in a bottle. It's not a really high-powered play, but the invoke can be kind of nice, and then it does let us upgrade those Warlord's hordes a little bit faster. There's the downside to time in a bottle is it doesn't have a ton of use until like the mid game when you're actually just kind of flooded with mana. And so we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll make some kind of infinite combo Warlord's horde deck, and then that will work out in our favor. So moving forward, we got the Rot Colossus. Then we can pick up a power, do battle with the She Who Wanders, and see if we can get ourselves a victory in the middle. Alright, so we're about to hit the midpoint of the battles. The things we're specifically looking for at this point are just removal spells, right? As we've gone through the earlier fights, I've been more and more impressed with Akshan. Like, I like how Akshan in the deck has really got itself together. It's just the removal spell thing that ultimately has me worried. And so this stuff here doesn't fix anything. We're going to have to kind of try and keep that in mind as we start to approach the shops, but that's where I kind of stand on what we need. Now, I'm going to take this Celestial Blessing here. It's not super strong, but it does pass out the Spirit keyword and draw a card. And so in that last game, we were getting to the point to where we were running out of stuff to do. And so adding in something like this that cycles to draw a card is fine, I guess. It's great to sound ultimately super confident in what you're doing. And all right, round start rally. Domination is one of my absolute favorite powers. It's going to do some serious work here as well. And so, into the mini-boss up against the She Who Wanders. If you're not familiar with it, looks like they have the Mega Scar Grounds. That's a little annoying for Kaisa with the Acathian Rain coming in and activating all of those abilities. And so it's going to be a little bit of a bummer there. And then in terms of the other power, it's to where if your unit has 4 or less power when it hits the opposing Nexus, it gets killed. If it has more than 4, it gets -2 attack. All right. Whew. Let's see how this goes. I'm getting flashbacks to fighting one of our recent Misfortune battles to where we had Misfortune at the very end and just ran into tough and couldn't use the love taps anywhere. That's okay though. We'll see how this goes. And so we can kick things off with Akshan. I don't think... Oh shit, hang on. Well, I immediately forgot about the existence of that She Who Wanders power, and so we'll have to just stop here, right? If we attack with our action, he's going to get nuked at the end of combat, and so might be a bit of a waste of his scout, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and get this terror out of hand. I'm going to look to try and pop off a little bit on action this turn. It's like maybe we'll draw a unit to use the Celestial Blessing. It doesn't turn up. See how many of these lucky finds we can create. We're up to 2. All right. Nothing too big. So it looks like Akshan already has Challenger. Pick up this +2 attack so we can actually damage a Nexus. Maybe he'll be able to just come out and kind of clear the board this turn. What do we got in this? Overwhelm is a new keyword. Making our own little mini Kaisa out here.
Villains beware.
What you got for us? An Entomb. Kind of annoying. Kind of annoying. I'll give you that. At least the interesting thing with the Entomb is when he comes back on board, he's going to have... well, he doesn't have any temporary stats there. Never mind. Oh, we could just... It looks like you can target your own... Yeah, we could advance the Frozen Tomb to get Akshan back, but I don't think that's quite where we want to be. Now here, I'm like leaning towards the Living Legends. It's just a nice late game punch, but I'm not certain if we'll have the game go to that point. We'll just take the Fallen Comet off of the Invoke, and then I'm leaning towards putting the Vagabond on the top of our deck. I would like to find a Kaisa, but I think it's good enough to not pass up. So we'll take the Predict draw off of the Vagabond. Don't want these. These aren't Kaisa, so we'll just skip over it. Land on a Merciless Hunter. We can get our Vagabond on board now, ready to block. Get another Warlord's Horde up and running. This shit's annoying, bro. He's got all these fearsomes we can't do anything about. Big chunk of damage about to roll in. Buddy can block. No real reason to Celestial Blessing here. Alright, there goes half our health. Womp womp. Alright, Akshan. Let's try this again. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more going.
We are what we do. In and out.
So Akshan's our only scout. No Kaisas up to this point. And we had some opportunities to predict and didn't take them, and now I'm kind of regretting it. Well, she wasn't in there. Is that right? Was that factual? Did we make a factual statement? It doesn't feel like we did.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton. Right, Arda. Take the chosen to safety now. That's right.
All right. Well, is that enough? Enough combats? Merciless Hunter's just not really getting the job done anymore. Maybe we do stop here and we just try and punch the damage in. I assume that he's probably going to put a block in front of the Elder, but let's see what happens. Are these permanent keywords? Nope. I'd say that wouldn't be that bad if we got to hang on to the elusive forever. And there's our Kaisa. Okay. Can work with this. We still got the big Fallen Comet to drop on his big boy here. We can look to get our action back next turn, drop Kaisa, start doing a little bit of magic there. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. It is still a little scary in the amount of damage we need to deal. Now this is going to be kind of an interesting thing, right? One of the things I like to call out with Kaisa and her strength now is Spirit is a very good keyword to be copying. And so I'm going to go ahead and Celestial Blessing the action, load up Kaisa, so she's going to get that point of Spirit in hand. And then as we bring her down, that's going to be a kind of stackable ability going forward. And so you used to run into the issues with Kaisa in the past to where she just already has all of the keywords and nothing you copy really does anything extra. But in this space now, being able to copy the Spirit off of action, it just gives her, you know, a little bit more versatility and not feeling like, you know, a keyword is useless at some point.
Villains beware.
But game should be done. We'll see how much. Jesus, this full attack end is only dealing 4 because of the Acathian Rain making these things huge. Jesus fuck. I'm not certain what he has left to bring out, but with the double rally in hand and making 4 attacks this turn, I think we're going to be strong enough to finish this off. Did we just straight up not kill either of those units?
Take everything.
Oh my god. We lose both our champions this way? We just have to leave Kaisa at home? Oh my god, what a fucking shit show. Alright, well, maybe the 1 rally will be enough after after this. Jesus. So let's pick up the draw 2. Maybe we hit... Oh, our rallies are just free now. I thought it was only the cards you drew for the turn. I was never an action connoisseur, and so... Good to know.
Villains beware.
Alright, so 33 coming in on this one. We should be able to rally, get the kill after that. But yeah, that did get to showcase my major concern with this round. With the Acathian Rain running into the Scar Grounds.
This is justice.
Just saw those units grow and grow and grow. It was a good thing we had barriers there. Good thing we had barriers. Ugh. I don't check the Lissandra at the beginning to see what her powers are gonna be. I can't wait to see if we get to the finale here and run into an issue. But alright, what have we got within these? I can't block on the Vicarum Vagabond. This is our big defensive measure. Here, the Time in a Bottle is fine. Adding in the Draw Champion to it does really just everything we need. It's our kind of turbo-y card advantage card at this point. And, you know, apparently it might be relevant as we come up and face Lissandra and you know, breaking something out of a frozen tomb or something. And so we'll see if that has any relevance. Really just interested in predict, draw, and invoke, but... you know, definitely has a potential angle at doing something special. So moving forward, we have a Mind Meld or we have a Champion Item Chest. I've got to start recording on the site what these powers are. I'll see if I can't bring it back from the days of old or start getting a new thing up on the ftpbus.com site as far as these nodes go. We'll go to the Mind Meld, just find out what we're getting ourselves into. So what is this? Choose a card and cut all copies of it from your deck. Each choice will cost you health. Okay, we can work with this. So let's cut out the Void Seeker. With these, we can cut out the Hive Herald. We're still pretty healthy at 16. I don't think we want to cut any of these. What remains in our deck that we would still like to remove? Void Blaster's good, like Merciless Hunter. Well, Merciless Hunter's on the screen. She could go. That would drop us from 16 to 12, but we do still have a revive should we need it. Otherwise, I'm fairly happy with this stuff. Exhaust I don't really want, but let's get rid of the Merciless Hunter and then we'll call it a day. And then I don't want this safe cracker really, but dropping down to 4 seems a bit risky. And so, moving forward, we've got a few more nodes. Looks like we'll make our way into a Grand Plaza and then upwards and onward. Oh, we just could probably go through the snail mouth into the shop, into Trundle, and go that way there. Okay, getting ourselves a little closer to the end. I think we want to just upgrade this Relentless Pursuit. It's something I've been pretty happy with as far as these games are going, especially as we've been running into these Scar Grounds with our Kaisa, and so I think that'll be okay. Moving up to this shop, we still got to find that one answer, right? We need to pick up a removal spell. And it doesn't need to be anything special. Like, I do see the Celestial Wonder in here. That's completely fine. In our previous video, we used Flash Freeze. A couple of videos ago, we had the slow speed Frostbite, the Shatter, that frostbites something or deals 4, but we had it at the game start. You draw it, and so like I'm not asking for a lot, just some way to you know minimally interact with an opposing unit. So we're gonna take this Celestial Wonder. Let me check the items out here at the start as well. Akshan starting with the mana deposit is kind of nice as well. I played a few of these games to where getting him on turn 1 kind of sucks because we can't cast Lucky Finds on him, and playing him on turn 2 was a little bit better, and so that will be useful as well. But let me make sure we at least come back, buy these Celestial Wonders real quick. I want all of them because they are going to combo kind of nicely with our Kaisa, in the sense that if we do run into the Scar Grounds again, we can just like stun those units out of combat and then still just attack around them, or we can stun somebody offensively to overwhelm through, or defensively to not die. Just like a lot of good uses out of that stuff. And so we've still got 3 rerolls left. We're only going to be hitting either a item chest or a healer, so I do want to burn them all now. Now that we've picked up our removal, I don't think our deck really needs anything, and so I'm going to just try and roll through and find some good items. The 1/1 in Fury on Kaisa isn't terrible, but I think that she's strong enough as is. I'd like to have a little bit more of a high-powered item if we can. And so the Ardent Censer on the Payday is kind of nice, right? This is the Payday that we're doubling dicing and casting a bunch of times, and so let's pick that up. Now with this little bit that we have left, do we want anything else out here? Let me see. You don't need to upgrade Supercharge. Taking the further rolls, just more stuff onto Payday. Sure, let's take all the copies, right? It's definitely gonna be Payday out here in Bustland today. So good stuff with that. So now we'll come on down, do battle with old Trundle. He was just the Titanic and the Vulnerable. Sounds good. Ooh, okay. Definitely about to be Payday out here. So good stuff. I think at this point we probably just want a hard mulligan for Akshan. Like, maybe Payday's good enough to hang on to, since we don't really care who the opening target for Payday is, as long as we have a target. I guess that's a potential for trouble here at the start, as we pick up this hand that can't play a unit until turn 5. Now we can, predict. We can play Time in a Bottle just to try and predict and find a unit. It's going to draw a champion, which may be Akshan, and maybe we can get him down next turn. And so it's at least got a bit of utility to it here. Now, not certain how this goes. Let's just take the Payday. That'll be our draw for next turn. And they just kind of, we picked up at worst the Messenger, and then at best we'll be able to just get Akshan up and running with all of these Paydays and stuff. So I think we're fine now. I don't think this is going to be any trouble. I'm not entirely familiar with the removal suite coming out of the Trundle deck. It does have Shadow Isle stuff in it, so we might have to worry a little bit, but nothing on board has me frightened at the moment. We are going to make a gigantic ass unit up here at the top of our deck. Okay, okay. Up to 4 lucky finds. Oh shit, we are rolling. We're just out here stacking action with these keywords. I see the double attack on there. It's gonna be fairly easy to load him up with Overwhelm. There it is. Oh, this is gonna be sweet. This is gonna be fun. I should have never doubted our boy Akshan. What a fucking mistake we made. we almost skipped over this champion for something like Zillion. Oh my god. This is gonna be sweet. Just keep hitting the paydays. That unit at the top of our deck is gonna have like plus 80. Alright, so tough we don't have yet. I think fearsome is the only remaining keyword that can really boost action. Tough and challenger we have. This is gonna be nice. This is gonna be nice. Already got all of these. Okay, let's kick in with the second payday, right? I hope you're strapped in and ready for battle. Oh man, that one stopped at 2. RNGesus didn't bless that hand. Alright, this is gonna level up our action as well. Fearsome, the final keyword. Okay. Look at that stack. Look at that stack of keywords just trying to fit on his card. LOL. Oh, that's awesome. We already have a Kaisa. Now, I'm not certain what this predict is going to... Oh, here's the Chronomancer. Okay. I was like, we have this unit on top of our deck that has all of these stats and keywords and everything. It kind of sucks to lose out on it, but... it was the Aspiring Chronomancer with the plus 24, plus 24. Not a bad day at the office for him, huh? All right, we do have a mana potentially for a rally, but let's hold off around, get this big boy on board. Maybe we can just finish the game off on this next turn. Harsh winds, not impressive. Not impressed, bro. Another relentless pursuit on top. We should be pretty close to just ending on this round. So we got scout attack hitting for 16. This next attack should hit for, I don't know, like 40. Oh, 78. Close. Holy shit, he just transferred all his keywords over. Oh man, that was good stuff right there. Okay, okay. More of that in the final battle, please. It's gonna be a fucking Scargrounds Lissandra. I can already tell. I can feel it. So what do we got? Our Kaisa already has Challenger, right? So no reason to add that. I mean, the fleeting Jaros, kind of interesting if we just need to fill the board. Like, we're not gonna fill the board against Lissandra, though. Those don't do anything. Let's just take a roll. I almost convinced myself to take the Ruin Runner there, and we got a bit of payoff here with the Vagabonds and the Colossal Hammers, and so... Well added. Thank you. Let's move into the healer, cut something out. I don't want that safe cracker at the 4 mana space, so you can go. See ya. All right, final battle. What do we got? Which one is this? If the foe has the attack token, they frostbite the strongest unit and make the dog. And so I think that should be manageable. It's a little bit of a bummer if we're popping off with action and he just gets frostbitten, but... it's the price you pay. It seems better than having to run into Scargrounds. Oh man, is that a start? Is that a start or what? Oh man, I don't know about you, but I just had a little bit of blood rush to my penis. Just a little bit, you know, just a little bit. We're gonna be strong. Take the blocker out of the way. Then it's going to be action time. He's going to come down, mana deposit, so we get all of the mana back, and then we'll be able to double payday along with the Relentless Pursuit. It's going to be sweet. Here's our boy Akshan. He doesn't do anything crazy. All right, all right. Payday. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh god, it's the fucking Lissandra round. Oh god damn it. God damn it, this happens every fucking time. God, just... Alright. Well, we got the paydays down, I guess. We got some extra items out here. God fucking damn it. I do this literally every single time we play this dumbass game. I was out here just ready to have some fucking fun, and then this happens. So let's see, how do we fix this? I guess we can just take normal attacks at this point. My day is just like ruined. I hate this battle so much. It's like I'm so ready to do awesome stuff, and then it's this. Just no fun for you. LOL. Alright, well, I'm glad we at least caught it on turn 1. At least we got some decent items on the Bethel the Elder and stuff. God, that's such a bummer. Alright, well, I guess we'll try and find Kaisa or some shit. Here's another payday. I guess you can actually just cast the paydays if you want.
In this timeline,
Oh, I'm so bummed. And we had the opportunity to pick up a time in a bottle and didn't do it.
listen to me.
So let's make the big block in front of Trundle. We can get a nice prevent with the Bethel the Elder, get 1 kill with Akshan. We're not losing any units. God, I'm just so bummed out now. Okay. Just fucking fine. Fucking fine. Who wants to have fun? Not me. Alright. So I don't think we want to cast any spells this turn. Who wants to play their cards? Who wants to have a good time? Not me. Fun's fucking overrated. Let's see, this is all we have access to. We can cast a few of these this turn, right? We've got 6 mana. It's the second payday. So this will be the last payday until we have to start spending money on stuff. And now I'm going to start casting Lucky Finds onto Akshan. Challengers, one thing we want. We're already good with... Oh, he already has Challengers, so that's good. Let's pick up... I'm kind of tempted to pick up the +2 attack, since we're going to be using Akshan to just try and quick attack challenge down some of these units. We are going to have to figure out a way to deal with the big boys, but the smaller plays we're okay with. Maybe in that sense, we should actually be targeting this Bethel the Elder. It is pretty strong, but... Now we can give it the +2 health. So at this point, having 9 health, it can say hook down Trundle and not die in the process. So that's not bad. Right, action strike number 1.
In and out.
Take down one of these little guys, the Rhinefang pack. Probably take down Trundle. He's a little bit too small at this point to take down the Frostguard Thralls, but that should be on the table soon. So dumb. You get so excited when you get all these big ass combos together. We could be using these paydays with Akshan and the Warlord's Horde, and game says fuck you. No fun for you. Maybe on the next turn we'll get something going with that. Are we just dead here? What's he got? 18, 20, 28? Nope. So we're at least okay in that sense. Nobody has a spell shield? Looks like the Bethel the Elder. Oh, he has elusive. Okay. Oh, we did have spell shield. Okay. Let's predict draw. We need to find Kaisa. Alright, let's see what we can do from here.
We have something the void will never understand. Me.
So he brings it in. No blocks, unfortunately, but I think we're at least okay at this point. So we'll second skin off of the Elder. Get 1,000 stacks of double attack. Look at that. He's got triple copies of double attack. The heaviest hands in the West, if you will. Okay, okay.
I am
Oh, we could. Oh, the Elder would have died if she blocked something. That's fine. Alright, we'll start getting to work, I guess. Seems like we're still okay. Like, when we circle back to getting, say, Akshan back on board, we'll be able to pick up both Scout and Lifesteal. And that seems like it should be decent for us. So where are we at? I'm gonna start paydaying. The question's going to... Ooh, Kaisa just hit Scout. The question's going to be, do we want to drop these paydays? Wow, that one just whiffed. I was going to say, do we want to drop them on the Elder and then try and second skin? I think that's okay, because we do want, like, this Elder to at least have more health, right? So that +2 health is kind of nice.
I'm learning.
Alright, so Kaisa has Scout now. Go ahead and take down this dum-dum. Seems like we're in good shape. She has Spell Shield to fight through this Succumb to the Cold, I think. 3 Sisters into Entomb, probably? Yeah. Okay. I think we're still fine. Like, all these units are going to come back next round. The Elder, unfortunately, doesn't have Challenger. Oh, he does have Challenger. Okay. That makes me feel better. Okay, okay. Squeeze them cheeks, fellas. I think we're okay. Squeeze them tight. Alright, Lissandra hits the board. So what's the Warlord's Horde total? Is it -2? Right? I want to cast the... Where are you at? The Fount of Power. Your cards cost 1 less. That doesn't do a ton in terms of overcoming the... overcoming the mana shield, whatever it's called, from Lissandra. Let's see what we can do. So this payday is going to be the last one till the cost goes up. Maybe we probably sequenced that wrong. If we're wanting to, to make these cheaper, then we should have been lucky finding a little bit earlier. He already has Challenger. Let's give him 1/1. Now we can play. Wow, this shit is just so expensive. Oh, this is just, there's no reason to do it. God damn it. Let's just stop. I already fucked that up. God damn it. At least this way we can still rally behind. We've got Lissandra off of the board. We're going to gain a fuckload of health. This is just it's so frustrating. It's like, let me play Lux so I can come out here and just play stupid shit that... right? Let me make all these stupid fucking attacks that just don't matter. That's fun.
In and out.
One short of taking that guy down. We need the barrier now to block the Watcher. We can easily kill through this, right? We're going to have a bunch of rallies and elusives and attacks, so the Watcher's not that big of a deal. He's gonna cut down our deck to nothing, but that's not really a problem.
Oh, come now.
All right. I'm gonna be upset if we aren't able to win this one. So let's see. Our Kaisa's about to come back. We're able to get into combat now. Let's see what we can do. I guess I just won't play any spells because all I'm gonna do is fuck that up. So we've got Scout on these two. It's like I kind of want to burn through some paydays to try and put just like one more attack onto the Akshan so that he can hook in these Frostguard thralls. I guess he needs 2 more attack at this point. Alright. Let's see how we fuck this up. Does he have Augment? Yeah, he's picking up a bunch of free attack here. Okay, so now we should be able to take the 2 elusives off the board. Our champion survived just fine. Get through that combat. I can't tell if Kaisa has Spell Shield. I'm pretty sure our Akshan does. This has been a This has been a complaint since since 2021 or so, when Riot decided to change the coloring on elusive and spell shield. Can't really read on the cards to determine what they have. Let's see if we can't pick up another spell shield onto Akshan. So that was our last lucky find. No. So we are in danger in combat here.
I will do what I can.
Elusive. Pretty certain he's elusive. Okay, I guess we'll just call it a day there and send him in. See if the opponent has a buried in ice or something. If he doesn't have buried in ice, then we can rally to fight through this, but ice pillar, sure. I'd like to think that if he had a buried in ice, he would have just already played it, but who knows? Let's not double up enough there. Okay, I think we're good. I think we won. I gotta remember, you just can't play fun decks in this battle. Hey, you're up to the final battle. Do you want to have fun? Nope. All right. It's like you get to play the fun decks all the way to the end, and then at the end they just get fucking annihilated by the Lissandra ability. It's like in Constructed. Like I was really upset at the results of the Invitational. I know that it doesn't matter now, but if you didn't watch the Invitational like the remainder of the world, they did a thing to where, I don't know what the contest was, but Boulevard got to remove a card from Standard and some other dude got to add a card back into Standard. And I really hated the execution of that, in the sense that typically with these Invitational events, you have something to where the winner gets to work with the design team and add their likeness to a card into the game. And so a couple of people got that from Worlds, but at the Invitational they did the thing to where you get to cycle cards around. And like Mage Seeker Jr. is one of those kind of safety valve style cards for the Standard format, to where if an obnoxious deck like Samira Akshan comes around, you have a bit of fair counterplay to it. And I really like those cards that really kind of like drive home the validness and the strength of combat-oriented decks, right? That's where, you know, I know there's always those outliers that want to play combo decks and want to play obnoxious control decks, but at the end of the day, the vast majority of the crowd wants to play games to where my champion is interacting and battling against your champion, and I'm not just playing a game of solitaire. And that's something that Mage Seeker Jr. helped prevent. And so I was upset that they pulled that out. And then they also brought back in the unnerfed Ballistic Bot into Standard, which was fucking obnoxious as well. But at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't matter that much. But that's what it feels like to me as we get into the Lissandra battle. It's like we've spent 42 minutes and 41 seconds in this battle. We got to spend about, 35 minutes really crafting this cool deck that's, getting these free paydays on the doubling dice and loading up Akshan and then copying from Akshan onto Kaisa and using that to stack up and load up our Warlord's Horde. We get to have so much fun that 35 minutes, and then you get into the Lissandra battle and it's like, LOL, you don't even get to play the game today. And so dumb. It's so dumb that you get, really, like those kind of like combo style decks just don't really get to exist in this match. And it's like the third battle in a row that I've just completely fucked it up in terms of getting prepared for Lissandra. So it's like, I got to get in my head with this Lissandra battle that we're just out here not trying to have fun. We're just trying to put some kind of big unit on the board and hoping that it's enough and hoping we can stun the Watcher so our big unit can outdo the opposing big unit. I know those sound like conflicting statements that I've just made, like rattling on about Standard wanting to be unit-oriented and focused, and now bitching about Lissandra being unit-oriented and focused, but we're playing different games here, right? PvP and PvE are way different things in terms of what to expect out of their outcomes. But nonetheless, we're getting rambly. Back to the action here. I think that was, a pretty reasonable battle. Very glad that we picked up Akshan early, and I think it really hits home with a lot of the ideas that I'm trying to put forth in terms of how to be successful with Kaisa. You want to get your scout champion. You want the scout champion to cost less than Kaisa, and then that helps you devise your deck in a way to where you're playing your scout champion first and then your Kai'Sa afterwards. I know it sounds very straightforward, but a lot of these games, the sequencing of your champions doesn't matter as much. You're just playing like the most powerful card you can turn after turn, to where it does matter with Kai'Sa and trying to get her loaded up with the keywords that she needs. You need to have that scout champion come down before she does, and so you can't just pick Trundle and have Trundle interact favorably with Kai'Sa, and so it takes a bit of micromanagement there. Otherwise, I think we got a pretty decent deck together. A lot of the synergies we're looking for was here, the scaling was here, the rallies were here between the domination and then the scout on Kai'Sa, along with the Demacian's rally as well, whatever it was called, and then we finished off the day with that Celestial Wonder to be our catch-all removal spell at the end. And so, good stuff. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way, and you had a good time watching. This is Bustin' Weed. Thank you for being here.